to order the general membership meeting of the Espokane Democratic Club. And we're going to make a slight adjustment to the agenda. We'll probably make more than one. One of our what I think our only endorsed candidate for this campaign. The city council is here this evening, and her name is Susan Lowenthal. I'm getting older, and I can't, you know. Anyway, it's Janine Pierce, and we welcome her to the clubhouse. We did a little phone bank for her tonight. Did one for Bernie, and we were going to do one for the other candidate for president. But
her name is Hillary.
Thank you. I had to be a little smart after that.
I know.
Okay. Anyway, so
I had to call you.
Okay. And I reached out to the local Hillary for president campaign grassroots organization. I couldn't find them, but I didn't try that hard. So next time we'll make sure.
We don't need one here in California.
Yeah, I know. We'll go into the reasons why later.
Chris.
Hi, how are you doing?
It's the primary.
It's my
The primary.
I had the same thing.
So, folks, without further ado, let's have a few words from Janine because she has for tonight. Janine, please. Welcome, Janine.
Thank you. You guys are awesome. It feels funny speaking here now because it feels like my second home. Thank you guys so much for your support, for your early endorsement, for everything that you do, that you're doing for Bernie, that you're doing for Hillary, that you do for the Democratic Party. I'm really proud to say, and I don't think I've been in front of the club since the Democratic Party endorsed, but it was a fun day if you guys weren't there. The Chris's were there. Anybody else? But you were there. Yeah, I was like, I have that picture of you, Look, this race it's a tough race. I've been in the district for 9 years. Eric's been in the district for 9 years. Joanne is born and raised in Long Beach. We're very different candidates. We have one that doesn't support the minimum wage, that doesn't support project labor agreements, that is, a Democrat because she's in California. I don't know. Then we've got another candidate. Hello. Another candidate that is a registered Democrat that hasn't done anything for the Democratic Party in his life that I can tell. But comes to the Democratic Party and asks for support. He hasn't done anything or been supportive of things like minimum wage his entire life, but all of a sudden says he's open to the discussion. And so then you've got us, right? And I say us because it's not me running for council, it's us running for council. I made this decision because I've been a part of this community together, making change and fighting and going through things that people said we could never do in Long Beach. We could never have a minimum wage for hotel workers, and now we have a pathway to 15 for everybody. And so I say that because while we've done a lot and we've gained a seat at the table with elected leaders, while I've gained endorsements from people like Suja Lowenthal, Rex Richardson, Congresswoman Janice Hahn, that we worked hard to get power. We worked hard to get recognition that we deserved a seat at the table. And while we did that by organizing and knocking on doors. We did that because Measure N won with 64% of the vote. We weren't just walking in and saying, oh, you're progressive, okay, we want you to have a seat at the table. We've made a lot of change in Long Beach, and this is that next step in making the change, and the only way that we're going to do that is by boots on the ground. We were out fundraising them. Now Eric has out fundraised me. We've got a path to fundraise. We've got great endorsements, but I need help every day calling voters, knocking on doors. Our district is 50% renters. That doesn't include the condos that are locked, and so there are a lot of locked buildings. So phoning is really helpful. Our district, 70% of our district votes by mail. And so what that means that is on March 14th is my election day. If we do not talk to every voter by March 14th and they've talked to an Eric or a Joanne, then we've lost a vote. We have one thing in our favor. Our name's top on the ballot, so that's fun. The random drawing sample, but I say all this to say that a lot of people are saying, I'll be there with you when the time counts, I'll be there with you when it's time to push. We're in push mode. We are open 7 days a week. My campaign staff is there 11 to 8 on the weekdays. We start at 10 on the weekends. I know that the Bernie campaign is really important, the Hillary campaign is really important, and I care deeply to make sure that we get a Democrat in office. If I can win outright in April, then my whole team can turn and focus on the national campaign for June. We have a fight here, and we know that politics starts locally. We know that change starts locally. We wouldn't be fighting for 15 if we hadn't in Long Beach gone 13 on the ballot. When people saw that 64% of Long Beach said, yes, we want a minimum wage, the rest of the state looked up and said, oh, voters are ready now. And so Long Beach is where we can make change, and I need you guys on this campaign. I'm really inspired about the work that we can do around cleaning up our environment, making sure that big business doesn't get a free ride, and making sure that we're not gentrifying downtown and pushing out the people that make Long Beach special. And so I believe I'm the only candidate that can do that, and I can only do that with your guys' help. So thank you so much for everything.
What's the address to your campaign?
The address to my campaign office is 416 Cherry. And we had sign-in sheets, but they took them. But if you guys shoot me an email or let Chris know, if you're not on our email list or our call list, we are eager for canvassers. This Saturday, we're going to have Rex Richardson in our office. Next Saturday, we're going to have Congresswoman Janice Hahn in the office.
Oh, cool.
And so we're averaging about 5 to 10 volunteers a day. We need to average 10 to 25 a day to be able to get where we need to be. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Janine is here to let you know, you're all going to be getting a letter from me. I've already maxed out, so I can't do any more than try to bundle just the technical term for it. So I'm going to ask you, and we'll put the squeeze on you, okay? If you have only given 5, we want 10. If you can give 300, whatever you can. This is the time to do it. This is the candidate to do it with and for. Because like she says, it's not just about her. It's about all of us who live in this city. Because even though this is a districted race, this is about Long Beach, keeping Long Beach even more progressive than it is now. I mean, I won't go into the details, but there are tendencies for our city government to go off in certain directions. This woman here is going to stop that from happening and make sure they go leftward. Right?
I will say that I appreciate everything that you've done, Chris, in hosting phone banks and fundraisers, and we've got one last big hurrah fundraiser, which we put together a host committee of 10 people, and we're trying to get to $10,000 on that day. And so if
right here at the clubhouse, everybody.
if everybody does $40 to $50 in this club,
Yeah.
I know that some of us are struggling to make it to me. I can't donate big money to somebody, but if you can do that, we can get to our goal for the month of $25,000.
What's the date of the fundraiser?
The 26th, Easter Eve.
I think we'll do like a
So we'll
egg
make
dyeing
Easter
thing or
eggs if you
something.
want to, but it'll be a vernal equinox.
Yeah.
Vernal equinox. It's the 19th, but then
Oh,
we're gonna go through the spring party. So we'll have our spring party for Janine.
Here?
Yes, here on the 26th. Okay.
Fine.
And I will put.
5
Later
o'clock?
on we'll put together a host committee, an actual work committee, in addition to the people who are putting their names behind it and money behind it. Okay. We got your back.
I love you guys. You guys are awesome.
Thanks, Janine.
Thank you. I'm gonna stay for a few more minutes. I'm
Okay.
gonna sneak out.
Cool. Thank you.
I just wanted to
Appreciate it.
what's going on.
We're glad you're here.
Actually, I'm gonna stay and finish this because I just wanted to finish this.
We also take care of our candidate with libations. Okay, so, we have breakout session, or discussion basically, it's gonna be more reporting on the primary. So back of your, you're gonna get an agenda.
No, is there an extra?
Could you hand me those? Right, that stack right there, pass me. Thank you. Do you have them over there, Kane?
I have one that I can share. Here you go.
Here you go.
You guys go.
Everybody's watching the Republican debate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Here you go. Chris.
Oh, I have it.
No, pass it around.
Okay, thanks. Anybody else need one?
Okay, so basically you'll see on the back, before we go further, introductions of new guests. We have Gilbert Rodriguez, right?
Yeah.
Gilbert came for the phone bank for Bernie, and he's interested in seeing what we're all about, so he's gonna stay and hopefully become more involved with us. Thanks, Gilbert, appreciate it.
It's a good club to be at. Mover and shakers here.
All right, so the back of your agenda is the remaining primary calendar for March. Remember, we have 35 more states to go. We've only heard from 15. So regardless of who you're backing in the Democratic Party, between the two candidates, the fact is we've only heard from 15 states. This is not over yet. A lot of states to go, a lot of big ones, including our own, California and New York. Anyway, so the schedule is here. You are now informed. We will be having phone banks not this coming week, I have a business trip in Northern California, so I was gonna host one this weekend, but I can't. But we will be doing it on the weekends, because most of these primaries until the 22nd of March are in the East Coast, or the East Coast, Eastern time zone. So anyway, that's a heads up on that.
Chris, I
Yeah.
forgot, is California winner take all? Or is it-
I'm hearing both, but I thought it was, they were gonna portion the delegations. I don't think so.
I think it's a portion.
I think it is a portion.
Yeah,
So we have to find out for sure,
No,
but
I
I've heard
looked it
both.
up. Remember I looked it
it
up?
has
I
been a
looked at it.
portion.
I looked
And
up that
I
it was
asked
a
the state
portion.
party, and Chris Myers, who's the executive director of the California Democratic Party, said, yeah, you're right, it's a portion.
Yeah, I looked it up and it
Anyway,
was.
hopefully that's true. Oh, that would be editorial, I won't do it.
But then we have to focus on the CD.
Anyway, okay, so any questions about the remaining primaries? And again, that's just March. So each of our meetings will have a monthly calendar. There's just too many, I don't want to burn down trees putting the whole calendar up there. Okay, all right, any questions about the primaries, the caucuses? All right. The April 7th Long Beach election and primary, Janine Pierce, this is what she
Is
said.
that the 7th or the 12th?
The 12th.
Oh, you're right, I'm sorry. It's June
Yeah.
7th, I have a typo.
Wait,
But
for the election?
April 12th, April 12th.
Yeah.
It's June
April
7th.
4th, yeah, April 12th, sorry.
Yeah.
Give me my March
I meant it was-
date.
yeah,
Yeah, it was June 12th.
Too much cutting and pasting.
April 12th.
Yeah, go ahead, Patsy.
April 12th, June 7th.
Oh,
Did everyone get
well.
one of these?
All right, so it's real important
Yeah, I got that.
that we get out the vote.
Came from my mother.
As Janine said, it's like the March 14th, which is, what, 2 more weeks, basically. Those of us who registered
A week from Monday.
for, vote by mail, this is, we can do our voting and then work on getting out the rest of the people to vote. But you're right, we get 70%, we've got to get out the word for Janine. Okay, so, by the way, if there are other candidates that you as members of this organization think we should look at endorsing, we need to talk about that fairly quickly. Bridget McCann is our chair of our endorsement committee. Raise your hand and say hi. So we're going to have, it's going to be pretty much, we haven't put together our formal process yet, but we will do what we did for Janine. We'll talk about candidates, whether or not to endorse, and then make endorsements. So if there are other candidates, the local races, pretty much for this coming primary, let us know, all right?
But isn't it a teeny bit late?
I'm sorry?
Isn't it a little bit late?
It's never too late to endorse somebody.
But I mean, like, if.
March 14th.
Yeah.
So we do an electronic, we do an email of the board. We're still loosening up.
Well, what race are you referring to endorse him?
I won't have any I'm proposing, but if those in the group care to, fine. We have the 8th district, we have the city races.
Oh,
but
I follow you. All the
yeah,
other.
we're not really,
Those poor other districts are getting no love, so I'm sure
Yeah.
they would appreciate.
yeah, so take a look at
Any
it.
other district.
We'll take a look at it. All
Particularly the
right.
8th.
We should probably put our heads together.
Love you guys.
Okay.
Thanks, Janine.
Thank you for everything.
All right, take
You
care.
guys are a
Good
good
luck.
looking group.
Well, thank you.
Do you
So,
have any?
okay.
Everybody look busy.
Oh, yeah, we're busy. All right. The,
1, 2, 3. All right. See you guys
thank you.
later. Bye.
Okay, so the May 1st delegate selection caucus for the National PNC. Okay, that's going to be held somewhere here in Long Beach, we don't know where, usually it's on the north side, North Cherry.
Union Hall.
Union Hall. We're wanting to get people who want to support Hillary or Bernie to apply. The forms were posted Monday. They are due to be back by April 13th. We'd like to put a slate together, or 2 slates, one for Bernie, one for Hillary, is the way we understand it. And the people who want to do that need to be aware of 2 things. One, you need to bring all of your friends and neighbors to that caucus. It's the old style, show up, vote in person, no absentee, no phone in, you gotta be there. So we need to get progressives in this club, in our community to come out and support our 2 slates.
How many people would be in the slate?
You can have hundreds of people on a slate. Number of delegates is 6, right?
Yeah.
For city,
7.
It
but
was
there-
7,
that
like 3
includes
women.
alternates.
1
No.
alternate,
3 or 4 of
it's
either men
6 or
women.
7 per delegate, and per delegation. What happens is, if, as we were told,
Oh, I have it right here.
it's apportioned, they will take the top vote getter for each delegation and rank them. So you'll have one for Hillary, one for Bernie per the actual vote distribution.
46. It's 3 males and 2 females. No, 47, I'm sorry. Yeah, 3 and 3. 3 men, 3 women, and 1 alternate.
Well, okay. And as we understand it, that's for each main candidate. all
Each
right?
candidate.
Right. And then what happens, if it's apportioned, which we think it is, the majority of what we've heard is it's going to be apportioned based on the votes. So if Hillary gets 52% and Bernie gets 47, because there's always something in the middle, rounding, then they'll break it out that way. All right. So people from each delegation will go, but the ones most likely to go are the ones who get the highest votes in that caucus. Real important. Real important. If we really want to do
So, if I could just clarify,
Yeah.
so let's say that I put my name in on the slate for Hillary,
right.
and I get on the slate, but nobody except my neighbors and maybe a few of you don't even know me, so how would people vote for me? I mean, if I go up to that, the last time that happened a couple of times, when we were down on.
That was for the AD committee, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, to me, we're voting for these people that, they were walking up and down the line introducing themselves.
Yeah.
And they could have been Jack the Ripper for all I know.
Here,
Some of them
what
were
I've done
Okay.
is wear my union shirt, have a flyer telling who I am, you know, things I've done, and stand at the door, hand it out to people, vote for me. I mean, for
That's
Delphi.
what she's talking about other people have done.
Did,
Yeah.
Yeah,
did that work?
yes,
Yes.
I was
Does-
Yeah,
it does
delegate
work.
to
That's what I did, and I got elected.
Charlotte, yeah.
And I had the machine against me too. And I ended up
And
winning.
let's
But I had
face
the Obama campaign endorsed me though, so that was
We are
good.
still faced with the machine. Now, it's the O'Donnell machine, I'll say it right to his face, it's the O'Donnell machine, not the Lowenthal machine. And we saw it in play at the convention, and,
Yeah.
you know, we understand it, they understand us, I think. Anyway, the fact is, it's about packing the hall. So you need to bring all your friends and neighbors, including all of us. We have to agree ahead of time that this is the slate we're supporting for Hillary and the slate we're supporting for Bernie. I'm running obviously for Bernie, I make no bones about that, you may run for Hillary.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Yeah, that's a big secret.
Yeah, no. It's-
All right, so here's the thing. It's democracy 1930 style, you pack the hall, that's how you do it.
Okay,
It's
but-
disgusting to me, but that's the way it is.
So just again, this is only clarification. So just like Lowenthal, you did it before, now we're talking about O'Donnell, but the truth is, isn't O'Donnell on our side in terms of the caucusing, voting for the candidate? I mean, there are only 2 candidates in the Democratic Party for president, and so wouldn't his group vote for what we want them to vote for?
No,
No.
well, maybe what you
They'll
want.
have their own people. It's just nothing who they
Okay, I
want
see.
to vote
So,
for, but the
alright,
people
I
they
see.
want
Yeah,
to
they have their
vote
own
for.
slate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they have their own slate, but I see, because they'll have a Bernie and they'll have a
But
Hillary. and
here's the
they'll
thing.
choose-
No, they don't, they're all,
It's bigger than that.
Well, wait a minute, well, to clarify further, you want to run on the Hillary slate.
Well, I'm just giving an example, I'm not putting.
Well,
Most
but
of the
it's-
machine is supporting Hillary.
yeah.
So you're gonna be competing against the machine for seats.
Okay,
I would love to support you being able to go to convention representing the progressive element within the city, which is what Yes We Can is about,
yeah.
versus the machine, all right? So even though we're on different sides as far as which candidate we support, I will support you to go in your slate, got it? And all of us should do that. All of us should do that. And the Bernie people that I'm talking with, they should do that, all right? Because ultimately, and we're talking a little more about, we go further into this, we need to take over the party. We keep talking about that, and they keep pushing us back and down. That's gotta stop. All right?
You're saying the machine is,
Go ahead.
So, Chris, isn't it true that the endorsements are for more than just the presidential candidate? Isn't it also?
What we're talking about here is the delegation going to Philadelphia, which the only
Oh, that's
purpose
for
there.
the president.
President.
Okay.
Well, yeah, no, but as a DNC delegate, you do vote on party platform.
Yeah, platform. not
Because in
candidate.
2012, we voted in marriage equality to be on the platform.
But not
We all got to vote
candidates.
on
The
it.
only candidates you vote for are president and the president.
So this
who
is
was
strictly
nominated.
for the national convention.
And at
Yes.
that convention, they typically, the nominee will nominate the vice president, and then you walk out of there, okay? Now, the second thing, if you're willing to do this, you need to be aware of this is not free. We're Democrats, we understand that nothing is paid for unless we raise money. And frankly, I could see us, our club, raising money for our slate members to go. Why? Hotel is $650 a night.
It's ridiculous, yeah.
Unless, like me, you're willing to stay across the Delaware River in Camden, New Jersey, at the Quality Inn for $80 a night. So there's another way to slide. Come on, we can be smart about
And actually,
this.
George Washington's boat's still
Yeah, we
go
just take the
across.
rowboat over. It's got a little lift mustache on it, you know. Anyway, so but be aware that even if we get a cheap hotel, it's gonna be expensive. It's $600 airfare to get to Philadelphia, roughly, okay? So, anyway, enough of that for now. We'll discuss this further soon. Okay, the June 7th primary election. If there's a runoff, we get to vote for Janine again. Hopefully we will have already settled that in April. You're also going to be able to take control of the party by supporting, as we can, candidates for the Los Angeles County Democratic County Central Committee. Yours truly was elected 2 years ago. I'm running for re-election. My alternate, Chris, who's helped me go to these meetings every month, the ones I can't make, and vice versa. So we as a team, he's running too. All right. We will also get people who are involved, want to take over the party, younger people, people who are interested in doing this, to do so. And so I invite everyone here to consider this. This one doesn't cost as much. As a matter of fact, to run, $0. But there's a time constraint and there's a mobilizing or organizing cost. You need to get up to 12,000 block of Imperial Highway in Norwalk and get your papers. You pull papers, you apply, you come out and you bring the papers back to the community. We get all of our folks together and we get people to sign your nominating papers. It takes 20 signatures.
So how many are going to be elected? From
Again, 7, isn't it?
Seven.
Seven.
7 from.
No, this is AD. This
7
is
from
not-
the Assembly District.
Oh, from the.
So there are more.
Yeah, we're
more-
to 70.
Yeah, there are more.
So it goes
seats.
over to San Pedro.
It's real important because what's the prize for this? You say, why would I do all this? You get to go to what we just went to, the California State Convention, as an official elected delegate. So that's important. Why? The platform and the endorsements. Okay. The price is nothing to get nominated. You have to go to a meeting in Koreatown, Mid-Wilshire.
First,
Once a month.
second Tuesday of the month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You choose an alternate,
That's
you
it.
work out your schedule, so you don't have to go to every meeting. But you are voting on nominations there. We had a fantastic time at the county meeting. Both the Navalli's and the Chris's were there. The crossover. Anyway, we were able to block the other one of the other two. Well, the only
For
one-
Janine.
For Janine.
Yeah.
And got her, hey,
Endorsed.
how you doing? Got her to be the nominated, got her to be the
You
nominated.
guys can go grab chairs in the back.
You were able
There's
to
folding
block.
chairs.
We were able, I shouldn't say block, we were able to get Janine endorsed by the Democratic Party of the state of California
Oh, it was great.
at that meeting. And you know what's so cool
It
about
was the
it?
energy for her was awesome.
Janine got up and told her story like she did tonight.
Yeah.
Ah,
So,
This is.
but then about 12 of us got up behind her. And she gave her
And they're more like
rousing
common
speech.
faces at, those people know who the hell Janine was.
yeah.
But then they saw all of us that attend the meetings regularly, and it
Okay.
was kind of like, okay, these are consistent, members
Yeah.
in attendance. So it was kind of like, and then everybody, all these cards went up in there to vote
And they
for
were
Janine,
Janine's
and we were
pick.
like,
They were pink for, like Janine, you've seen her artwork. It's the pink. and
they're over
pink.
by the television, guys. See them?
Yeah, they're folding chairs over there. Folding chairs against yeah. So basically, it was a sea of pink. It was so cool.
Yeah, it was
She
bitchin'.
would got 85 votes or something like that. And so this is the same group that tried to deny Robert Garcia his endorsement. So anyway,
Yeah.
and I want to tell you, the machine leaders
We made
were in
broken
the
ground
corner and they were
with this bond.
turning pinker than the pink cards we were holding.
Yeah, the
They were
old guard.
happy.
Who was that?
Eric Bradley.
Bradley, etc. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
The old guard.
Oh.
yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yeah.
So who were they behind?
Eric.
Eric Gray.
Eric Gray.
Yeah.
See, we had an AD meeting. Okay, I'm the AD rep. Went to the AD committee, and there were like 12 of us in the secret dark room. That wasn't dark. windows. But anyway,
Was it smoky?
and we were able to block the AD committee. 4 of us for Jeannie, 4 for Eric, and 1 non-endorsement. And we took that to the committee, to the central committee, and they said, and we put in a motion saying, no, let's endorse her. So it's important.
Yeah.
This stuff's real
Well,
important.
it's worth about $100,000 because they will send, her name will be listed as endorsed candidate to every Democrat within.
Robocalls, all kinds of stuff.
Robocalls and all that jazz, so.
They'll do that?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
But tell them about I was telling Robeson that, about the ruthlessness of Eric Gray and how he discounted the Yes We Can Democratic Club.
Oh,
You guys probably saw my post.
I saw your,
Yeah.
yeah, but I didn't know what it was responding to.
Well,
I didn't know
what
he
it
said.
responded to is he put something on Everything LB, which is a blog. And he said, I have, if you total up all the people who, I didn't get any endorsements, he was honest about that. No, he wasn't, because Janine got our endorsement and the party's endorsement. But anyway, so he said, if you add up all the people that actually voted for me, I had more votes than
No,
anybody.
from the Democratic Club
Yeah,
in
from
Long
that
Beach.
Club Long Beach, yeah. He left out the 22 people
He didn't even
that
count
sat in
Yes We
this
Can as a
room
Democratic
last
Club in
month
Long
that
Beach.
unanimously endorsed Janine. He left that out.
He left us out, which pulled her
I
ahead.
called
as-
foul. I wrote a pretty, I think, a reasonable letter. I didn't say you're a jerk or an ass. Anyway, I didn't do any of that, but nobody,
Oh,
nobody.
did you see it?
I
Yeah.
saw it.
It was hot, but it wasn't, nasty. Okay, well, you wouldn't have.
So what he did is he just cherry picked
Yeah.
those that voted
Oh,
for
yeah.
him from different clubs and was like, hey.
So the point is that that's the kind of nonsense we're up against, and a way that we can have a measured resistance to that is by being involved with the party. Okay. Right now, this club is entitled to a what do they call it, associate member to go to these meetings. No one goes. And our last associate member was what's her name?
Lily?
No. Oh, anyway, young gal with Long Beach Dems.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie?
Yeah, Jamie,
Jamie, yeah.
yeah, she's left town, so, anyway, she never went to any meetings, so, if anybody wants to understudy for this, and I'm sure this is something you're interested in, let me know.
Well, it'd be
Sign-
better to run as a delegate.
No, I
than
mean, in
to be
addition
a
to that, we still have
associate
another
member.
seat
Yeah,
that can be.
but it's non-voting though.
No, it's, so, anyway, enough of that, any questions on that? Okay, so that has to be done, the signatures, 20 signatures have to be back on March 11th, so if you want to do this, we need to do it real quick, and we'll help you, I will help you.
And if nobody wants to do it, then what is the backup plan?
The backup plan is we're gonna run anyway.
Right. So, see, I mean, like, you guys
Yeah, but we awarded 2 votes, we need, there's
are. I know, I'm not
How
saying that.
how many are we entitled to?
7,
That's what they just said.
7.
all right, and we need to replace
So
some
who
of
wants
the
to
people
run?
on there.
Everybody raise your hand that's running.
Yeah, but it's not that money to get
It's,
there.
no. Okay, we're talking
They're
about.
talking about
Two
it's like a
things.
big
The
Yeah.
council meeting.
This is
Yeah.
LA. This is LA.
Okay.
LA, like I said,
Pizzas,
LA is cheap
Yeah.
than the national.
Well, it's just a gas to get up there once a month.
Well, if you go to convention, it gets expensive.
Well, that's a state delegate, that's different.
And dinner at the Boiling Crab.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're on your own, it's only
Best
$8 a
seafood.
piece, it's great.
Awesome.
Okay, anyway, if you think about it, we'll talk after or during the social time, I don't want to take more time on this now. Okay, I mentioned other endorsements, issue discussed. All right, everybody here knows that one of the main movement issues that we've had in this club has been Moby, all right? Money out, voters in, all right? We have 2 candidates for office. I will now speak to one I will let, who would like to speak for Hillary in her position on Citizens United? I didn't give you guys any advance notice on this, I'm sorry.
Well, I think she's against Citizens United, I've heard her
She
speak out
said that,
against it,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right, so both of the presidential candidates,
Well, actually, it's interesting because Citizens United, the case was actually about Hillary that went to the
It
Supreme
was.
Court.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she made that point during one of the debates, you know.
Let's just leave it at this. Both of our candidates at this point, I think, would say that Citizens United needs to go. Is that fair to say?
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
I've heard her say
All
that.
right. We won't go any further because it would become a debate, and I don't think that's fair.
But how?
Shh, that's enough.
No, that's what we need to ask Hillary and Bernie. How?
Okay, but not tonight. Unless you want to.
Well, text Bernie right now and ask him.
Yeah,
You're on his speaker.
yeah, I'm on his direct line. All right. Okay, so we could get into that, but I think for sake of party unity, we won't. Unless someone wants to overrule the chair, okay? All right, it's 7:30, and we have just concluded the agenda part of the meeting for the general membership. We've never done this before, we're early. Okay, anybody else have anything else that needs to be discussed?
What about chairs, reports?
That's in the
Oh
e-board,
my
that's next.
God.
So we're gonna have any further discussion, new business issues before the general membership.
Well,
What are we gonna do?
Now, the next, let me explain, the course of the agenda is, we next break for a snack for 15, then we have an e-board meeting, we have our full committee
What
reports.
about the opportunity girl?
Well, let's see, that's a very good point.
It's on the.
Did I skip that?
No,
So, we are going to try this new format where we have our e-board meeting after the membership meeting. And the main point of this is the business meeting that we have is primarily a series of reports, financial, red and blue, other committees, and making decisions on behalf of the organization.
Right.
Okay?
sometimes
So-
that takes a while too, though.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, so.
Right.
All right, so we're gonna try it. We're gonna start now with the minutes of the last meeting. Shannon?
Yeah. Here, there's just 10 copies, so we can share it, get close.
Okay, what I'd like to get to, there are two things structurally about the meetings, and, you know, we're kind of going into a new process here, or return to the old, whatever.
Thank you.
Is that, number one, I
Minutes?
want
I'll take
to
your minutes.
apologize to the e-board for not sending out the meeting agenda in draft to get your input, so that won't happen again, sorry about that. I got, because of the convention, I mean, a lot of excuses.
Oh, don't give us the excuse.
Yeah. You look at my travel schedule. Anyway, so the point is that we're gonna work to make sure that doesn't happen. Secondly, I would like to ask Madam Secretary that we get the minutes out, that we, Shannon, that we get the minutes out to the e-board at least a day, two hopefully, before the meeting, so we don't have to now take the time to read the minutes. Okay? So they read them ahead of time, and we can say, that looks good or does not look good, okay? So Shannon, do you want to take any corrections or additions to the minutes? Are there any? No, from anybody here?
Let me look.
Looks
They're still reading.
Okay, I'll just leave.
very accurate.
All right, looks good.
Oh, wait, this is,
Wait,
Yep.
at the very bottom, it says April 7th is one each election. I think it's the 12th.
Well, yeah, you're right, Stuart.
All right.
Where do you see that at?
At the very
Wait,
bottom.
Oh, on the backside, yeah, April 12th,
One
April,
meeting, you
yeah.
guys. Okay, Stuart, what did you say?
All right, the bottom of page 1, the second from the bottom says April 7th election primary. It's April 12th.
And actually, it's on the backside as well.
Yeah, so.
Third paragraph, April
Yeah.
7th, should be April
Okay,
12th.
so please make that change, Shayna.
Yeah.
You got that? Any-
yeah.
Yes.
I think we should clarify what Gary Crummett has offered to do the filing. I think it probably should read the federal and state
Yes.
filing forms
Yes.
Reports.
or
Federal-
reports.
Filing reports, yeah.
It would
Because,
be federal and state. And who is Gary, I mean, I know who he is, but what is his title?
He's an accountant.
He is our accountant.
Well, okay,
Okay.
actually, I have his card right here.
okay, what is his
But as
title?
far as our organization,
The
we-
business says, let's see, Political Reporting Services. That's his business.
he may not be a
What is
CPA.
it?
He might not be a him.
Usually, does that have CPA
And
after
it's
him?
called, his company is called Crummett and Associates.
Does he have a degree after him?
He does not.
Okay,
DED,
so he's got-
RRPPP?
Crummett, CRUMM.
Oh, I'm saying his degree.
ITT.
PRTTTT.
Okay. So Political Reporting Services.
More wine for her.
I love it.
it.
I love it.
All right, so we'll get you the proper spelling. So basically, what he is our consultant, and he is working for Yes We Can and reports directly to our treasurer. So our treasurer is our treasurer, okay, Lynn, and he is the consultant who we engaged to do our reporting for us. He does not do our book, our general books, he does not do our checkbook, that's all still our
So
treasurer.
he's not actually, he is doing the
He is actually doing the filing, he's preparing the documents and making the
That's what usually
filings.
costs them.
I'm fine.
Yeah, and he's doing it for $100
That's very
a year
good.
for 6 months, it's really good. All right, any other changes or additions?
Always doing it.
Looks good.
Okay, the chair will ask for a motion to approve the minutes.
I move.
Second,
Second,
any discussion, all in favor?
Alright.
All opposed? Thank you so much. Moving right along. Financial report.
Oh, my turn.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sorry. All right, I put some copies there in the bowl if someone wants a copy of the actual report. But I only made 5 because I've been
That's
wasting
fine.
a lot of paper.
Yeah.
No.
Nobody is taking
No
that.
one's reading this.
Okay, for February, we had only a deposit to the state account, $56. 25 was from membership dues and 31 from passing the hat. Expenses, out of the federal account, we paid $100 for the LACDP charter renewal fee and $21.81 to me for certified mail postage expense reimbursement. Out of the state account, we made a $250 campaign contribution to Janine Cares.
Has that been paid yet?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was paid in
She
February.
just said it
Oh,
was
okay. Well, the reason I asked is I asked them, they received it and they had none, so.
Well, actually, I gave it directly to Gary Crummett.
I told them to follow up with Gary, that's
Wait to
perfect.
send an electronic.
Yeah, and the check has been negotiated.
That means cashed
Yes.
in English.
deposit.
Yes, because I
love that,
I looked at the bank,
jargon.
yeah, the check has been cashed.
Okay.
Check is good.
Okay, so,
It's
yes,
gone.
they got it
All right.
and it's been negotiated.
Good, I'm glad to hear
Okay,
that.
so, we kind of depleted our little accounts and we've got a total of $700.38.
We need a fundraiser.
We do?
Yeah, we need to make some swag for our tabling, so we're doing tabling Friday night. Do you
Yeah,
have
'cause then-
anything to sell?
Pardon me?
I don't know, Maria's not here, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Who do we sell it to?
Anyway.
Passers-by?
In 2012, during a presidential election year, we had like $3,000 in the federal account, like $1,200 in the state. We had mucho dinero.
well, we were getting bounty money too.
Yeah, bounty money,
Yeah.
actually, the bounty money comes in at the end of the year, so.
At
No,
the,
that was swag. Yeah.
at the tabling, do you not have at this stage candidates,
That's why I was asking, Maria's not here, she's in charge of the tabling activity.
in the past, that was the case?
Yeah, but in an off year, we don't,
What did you
It's
say?
now not an off year.
It's an off year? It's
no,
not
I'm saying
presidential
last year,
year.
nothing was made, that's why.
Oh,
Oh, no, I was more talking about the principle, the
Oh, yeah.
materials
Sorry.
for the candidates.
Okay, one meeting, please.
I don't know.
What?
Wait, what do you
The
mean,
table.
Susan?
Are there
Well, specifically Bernie and Hillary, are there,
material?
Well, we
The
have Bernie
materials
material, no,
were
Hillary,
made.
no.
There are materials made for Bernie tonight and for Janine, so I don't know about Hillary stuff.
that are at, will be at the table?
Yeah, I plan to make sure that the Bernie stuff is there, yeah, and the Janine. So the Hillary folks are gonna have to cobble it up. I think you have to buy it on the website. I haven't seen
And
anything
if someone
else.
wants to donate for that purpose, then
What?
that goes to the campaign, I guess, huh?
Did it before,
Or not.
it goes to us.
Okay.
You know, we're making swag, we collect the money, absolutely.
Oh, no, it's, yeah, it goes right directly to us.
Okay, yes. Any other questions about the finance report? We won't vote on it, the chair accepts the finance report, thank you. What did we collect tonight?
$41.
Okay.
What about, real quick, what about membership? Is everybody a member for 2016?
There is membership coming in, right?
Yeah, well, we all in November, those people who were here in the November meeting, and Carol was all over this for actually October and November, and even a little bit of December. So everybody that is on our roster re-upped in those months. So it's actually, the money won't come in for the continuing members until December.
Well, yeah, I would like to correct that a little bit, because I looked at the roster, and there are about 20 people who weren't on the roster, and they have not been collected. There is not been collected, they were not included in the
Well, no,
roster.
I think that's true. Only the people on the roster that I saw were people who had paid.
Okay, got it,
Oh.
all right.
So if we have new people, and then we need to download.
Who's our membership chair?
I don't know.
That's a good question. I don't think we have one.
I know, I thought you did. Let's see.
Yeah, okay.
The next season gets that.
Minutes.
Should be.
Do we distribute the membership roster to all the members?
No,
No.
it's proprietary.
Look at that.
It's secret.
Well, we should have it here.
Chair, my goodness.
We're a secret society.
It's a secret
We don't
document.
have to-
No, we don't have a membership chair. Somebody here, anybody here like to volunteer to be membership chair?
Wasn't,
Going once?
Well, wait,
wasn't, Eileen
I think she was.
She was.
yeah,
Ringerman?
but she was not able to continue,
Oh,
and so.
That's right, she was chairwoman last year.
Right,
She did a
and then
good job.
Cindy was partly membership last year when we did the co-vice president thing.
Okay.
And so, and she tried to get Rondi involved, but Rondi had a lot of activities, and so that kind of just, I mean, there were some things, and we did get a couple new members,
Right.
but not like 20 new members.
Could you do me a favor as
I'll tell you
vice
what.
president, would you please, since there's some continuity issues and I was not involved, could you talk to them and see either one of them would like to work on this or have recommendations?
I can tell you what I think the answer is, but I will.
Let's-
I don't
let's
know,
pursue-
because, not because they love, yes, we can, but they're just kind of like burnt out a little bit.
All right,
I will call
see
them.
what you could do, and I would happily support that with the data that's involved
She has like one block down
and
the
the,
street.
and the contacting and that sort of thing. But I'd like to have a committee to be behind that. I think it works better for the organization. Okay, any old business? Okay, new
Okay.
business, we have.
Wait a minute, I do have an old business item. I want to just make I just wanted to bring people up to date. Some of you may have gotten the email from Cindy regarding Moby. I mean, if you haven't, I just want to do a quick review of it. She didn't ask me to, but I just, because I actually emailed her maybe 2 weeks ago to ask her because I hadn't heard anything. What happened is that, if you recall, and I mean, I'll probably leave out a few things, but that'll be fine because it will be really short. But essentially, the issue has been on the table for some time in California, like a year and a half, to get the legislator to endorse a constitutional amendment to negate Citizens United. It has no teeth in it. It isn't anything other than just kind of like a statement. But a number of states have done it. So Michelle Sutter and others that Cindy has worked with in Moby have worked really, really hard, and the voters of California said they wanted it to go on the ballot for this year, 2016. The state, when it came before the state board, Supreme Court actually, right, they said that they wanted to pull it off because they weren't sure of the validity of it. They thought it was fine, even though in the initiative process, many thousands and thousands of people in California said they wanted it on the ballot, but the Supreme Court acted to pull it off the ballot. Not to say it was a bad initiative, but they probably thought it was, but they just didn't want it on the ballot yet. So then the next level was, okay, great, now let's fight to get it on the ballot. Again.
The next one.
And so this was just out as of yesterday at 2:27 p.m. from Cindy, because it came through Michelle Sutter and others. They pulled it off again.
What? Are you kidding me?
They're pulling it off because they're saying that if you just pass a motion that you want to support something, that is not what should be voted on. What should be voted on is whether something becomes a law. But in fact, in the past, we have voted on stuff like that. So it's like very
Oh, so
Right,
weird.
so
you
It's like
know,
our Prop O. remember?
real quick,
Prop O.
this is what Robeson was talking about earlier, about us getting a slate and being on the LA County Democratic Committee. Because what transpires there is we could put this Moby initiative to the committee and put it for a vote. And if that committee puts it to a floor vote, then what happens, and it gets endorsed, they go to the state legislators and say, hey, we need you to endorse this. And you need to put it on the floor and vote the Senate and the Assembly House. and what transpired, because
Well,
evidently
it's
Moby
true.
doesn't have any state, any poll.
Well, it's true.
Didn't they already vote, they voted on it already.
Let me
But they need
read the
support.
paragraph that's germane here, because I'm reading it off my phone. This is not from Cindy, because she tells us what to do further up in this email, but this came from the group that's been working on it. Last Wednesday, the court denied the legislatures and the Restore 49 partners, that was the name of the effort, to place Prop 49, the Overturned Citizens United Act, directly on the November 2016 ballot. When the court's 6-1 ruling on July 4th affirmed that Proposition 49 was always legitimate, MOVI, our Restore 49 partners, and the California legislature joined in the effort to urge the court to do justice, clean up the mess they made, and simply reform the date, as the court routinely does in cases when the court's process extends beyond the implementation date of the law being challenged. The court declined. So the only way the Overturned Citizens United Act will be on the November 2016 ballot is if we act now, as we did in 2014, to show the legislature that overwhelmingly citizen participation is they want it to be there. So we're supposed to completely, quickly call our California statewide representatives in solidarity, and then if you guys got this email, you'll see what you say. But essentially, it's just an update that, I mean, for whatever reason, there isn't even anything that controversial about it, really. I mean, it's not taking money away from corporations or anything, only eventually it would, but just to say, well, we support that.
Laurel, I'm just unclear what contacting the state representative.
Yeah, what can they do?
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Okay,
Al?
It won't be on the ballot, is it?
that's right,
Yeah.
as of today.
As of today, they took it off. Go ahead.
But what, us contacting the state representative and say they do support it being on the ballot, I'm not
Well,
sure what they
that
can
is
do.
what, because then they have enough time, I say I'm quickly reading this, but if we did that, we had this overwhelming amount, call your legislatures today, tell them to pass a new bill, tell them California voters want to vote to overturn Citizens United this November. There is a time frame, and I think it's like a month.
Has that new bill been drafted yet?
No.
Oh, so it still has to be drafted.
Well, it'd be the same language.
Yeah,
49.
and then that's another thing the club should have is like a political liaison to our elected officials.
Here's the problem, this California State Supreme Court is a mirror image of the US Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And basically, they can ignore the legislature as much as they want.
Right.
And they're just kowtowing to the financial interests, duh, and it's because they're being appointed money that were appointed by Reagan.
Right.
Right, and we're stuck with it.
Right.
So.
Except there are some liberal folks on there, people who want it. In fact, the Supreme Court Justice, her name is Tane, something like that, she actually supports it and spoke with groups. But anyway, I just wanted to, that
No,
was
it's
like
good-
a
it's
committee
good enough,
report
yeah.
to just say that, and I didn't do justice to it, but.
But I
Well,
think
what if we have, I'll put a motion on the floor that the club contacts Patrick O'Donnell and Senator Lara and say that we're in support of this.
all right, that sounds good.
That's great, and
All right.
who will do that?
We have a second?
Who will
I
second?
can do that as our,
Yes,
just make sure.
yes, sure.
Oh, great.
Because once that comes
Yeah.
out, that we can actually formally endorse that as the club.
All right,
Okay,
Bridget, do you have Pat's cell phone
so
number?
someone has to write that though.
Do you have Pat's cell phone number?
she'll write it.
Actually, I can get a cell phone.
No, I have it all before
Oh, you
this.
have it?
Just,
Okay.
just use the prop,
Okay, great.
Come get me
All right.
before you're out.
So what
49.
is your motion?
Because I
The
know
motion
him now
is-
from
motion-
the advocacy committee for
to restate the motion,
emailing.
is that Bridget McCann, as our endorsement chair, will contact Senator Lara and Senator O'Donnell to emphatically enforce, support the restitution of Prop 49.
Right, okay.
That's all you have to say, that's enough.
But then, can somebody send to Bridget the actual proposition, so when she contacts them, she knows it verbatim?
Right, okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'll send you what I have
I
right
have
now.
the email from Cindy.
All right,
Okay,
good,
that
all
should
right,
be
good,
enough.
we're done.
And then you can contact Cindy.
Is there a
She
second?
has everything.
Is there a second on the motion?
Second.
Any discussion further? Okay, all opposed, all for, say aye. All opposed, you can leave now. All right, great. Okay, we were railroaded that one. Now, we have a committee that hasn't reported for a while. Chris, you ready to go with your?
It's been sleeping.
Yeah, that's right. Dormant. Okay.
Okay, hey everybody, I'm Chris Duvall, if you don't know already. And I'm chair of the Red to Blue.
Well, it's elections, but we're ready to lose part of it.
So, Red to Blue, Red to Blue. And essentially, everybody knows what's transpiring in the United States of America right now. And the House doesn't look very good to change red to blue, but actually the Senate does. There are 25 seats on the Republican ticket that are up for re-election, only 10 in the Democrat. And there's actually 10 seats that are contestable right now that 9 a Democrat can win and 1 that a Republican could win. And we only need 5 seats within the Senate to take it over, is where we're at. And of those seats, we have some recurring candidates that way back when, you know, when I was a red to blue chair as well, were elected to the Congress that are now running to the United States Senate. And one of them is Tammy Duckworth out of Illinois. We elected her to the House, we made buttons for Tammy, and we sent them over to Tammy, and Tammy was elected.
That's right.
And now she's running in the state of Illinois against a Republican to take the seat to a Democrat. And one of the other one is Patrick Murphy. Anybody remember Patty Murphy?
Yeah.
Down there in Florida?
Yeah.
It's so cool. We made him buttons, and he's elected to the House, and now he's running for President Rubio's seat.
President, where's the water bottle?
Come on, you got Minnesota.
I need a water bottle.
He got Minnesota, the state that elected, you know, Governor Ventura, Al Franken. It's like, wow, what a great accomplishment. But those are 2 of the seats, and one is really, pardon my language, but I'm a product of the 70s, raised in the 80s, but it's really bitchin' is Wisconsin.
Yep.
Senator Feingold,
Right, who lost?
former Senator Feingold,
Yeah.
is running again in
Yay.
Wisconsin.
That's right, yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
he is Tammy's the #1 seat that we can take, and Senator Feingold's the #2. Isn't
Yeah.
that
That's
wild that
cool,
he comes
that's
back in and he steamrolls it?
Great dude.
And here's a really wild one, is Senator McCain in Arizona
Yeah.
is not looking very good right
Oh,
now.
that would be just be
Oh, I
wonderful.
would be
Not looking
heartbroken.
very good right now.
It's time for him to go
Yeah,
home.
it is time to retire
Hasn't
him.
he been a senator for like 20 years or something?
30, 39, 40.
Yeah, he is not looking.
Get out of it.
So it's not looking good for him?
No,
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he is in the lineup to potentially lose it.
Yeah,
but
his opponent.
Who's against him?
Yeah, he's a
hold on,
candidate.
hold on, I got it
But
right
it
here.
could be somebody worse.
Ann Kirkpatrick, she's a representative. She's already been elected in the state of Arizona. She's a United States Congress, and she's been elected before.
Oh, good.
So that's
There's a chance.
pretty wild. But you know what's really cool is there's one election, and it'll be the first time. But you know they kind of didn't include. But within the state of Nevada, you guys are a neighbor, and this is Harry Reid.
Oh, is he?
leaving.
Yeah, he's retiring.
retiring.
Yeah,
And there's Representative Heck, who's a Republican, but then Catherine Cortez Masto. If look, they didn't include Loretta Sanchez in this, but it stated that if she's elected there, she'll be the first Latina ever elected to the United States Senate
Which
Oh,
one?
really?
in Nevada.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's never been a Latina elected to the United States Senate.
Let's go.
So we can help her out. But my logic is this though. The reality of any of these and us working on this right now is that there's going to be a Republican and a Democrat running against one another after the primaries. Do you follow me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
that's the time to do it.
I think as red to blue chair, and I've yet to have a red to blue meeting yet, is that I think we need to focus all the red to blue power to get Janine in her election until we get past all the primaries. So it'd be essentially red to blue would initiate in the month of June. And then month of June, July, August, September, October, red to blue's in full force. But up until then, red to blue, and as chair, this is what we're going to do. I'm not taking a vote, I'm kidding. But that I just recommend that we focus on Janine's campaign.
And the other thing that, probably a lot of you know this as well, but I do some reading about this. And really, there are groups out there, Democratic groups out there monitoring this nationwide, and there is a lot of work being done for a lot of these candidates already nationwide. So it's like they're not gonna fail just because Yes We Can doesn't support them.
Well, up until June, and then in June, we'll
I
have...
mean, we need to have our say, but I'm just saying.
Because the gig is it'll be much more realistic in June when we know who the Republican presidential candidate is and who the Democrat is. And that'll dictate what states we can focus on to actually win. Because these are, right now, say for instance like Ohio is on the board, but say Ohio is, say John Kasich becomes a Republican nominee, we're not even gonna look at Ohio, because we'll bring out the Republican turnout in Ohio and defeat our Democratic senator candidate, who actually looks really good right now. But it's kind of in June.
We won't know till July or August.
Yeah, it would be after
After conventions.
yeah, after the conventions, then, well, especially the Republican one.
Well,
Yeah.
we were talking earlier that if,
Yes.
probably for Republican, if they try to have a brokered convention.
They
that
will,
would be
they're gonna have
But,
one.
but in our case, on the Democratic side, even if we don't have our convention, I mean, there is at least a chance that if somebody is off the charts in delegates, then we'll pretty much know.
Yeah, it is a club, we should endorse that
And
person,
then we might.
whomever it may
decide-
be.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Chris, I would just ask the committee to also look at potential swing district elections here in California in the House. Obviously, the Senate's.
Yeah, but there's nothing on the radar right now.
What about Vera,
The only thing,
Sacramento?
no, but that's saving it.
What?
That's keeping blue. That's not red to blue.
Oh.
Javier Vera, he's
I see,
congressperson.
you're not doing save.
Well, no, we did it before, we
Yeah.
did keep it blue.
I'm just saying, take a look at that.
Yeah.
All right.
Like I said, we're not gonna focus on this stuff till after,
Yeah, all right.
Okay,
after
great.
June.
Thank you for the report, appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Hang on,
Glad you
one
did
question.
that.
How many seats would the Democrats have to take in order to get 60,
Five.
filibuster proof?
60, right now we're at 46, we need 5 to get to 51.
Okay,
So that would be 14.
Another
Oh,
5, 14, yeah.
But we
That'd be
want at
14
least 5,
seats.
yeah.
And we have, and right now, of the, what is it, of the 35 that are up, we have 1 Democratic seat that is contestable, that a Republican can take.
Which one is it?
Which one is that?
Oh, which one was that? It is, hold on, bear with me, folks. Colorado,
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, it's in Colorado,
Bennett or?
yeah.
All right, thanks for the report, appreciate that. Any other announcements or new business? Okay, Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn the board meeting.
So moved.
So move.
All right, second, discussion, vote.
Oh.
What, did you have
Well,
something to add?
no, I just,